Hi, I'm Gillian Waring. I'm an artist.
I do not like to be on this side of the camera.
I'd much rather be the other side of the camera.
Watching me being me alienates me from me.
Masks are a central theme in Waring's work. They appear throughout her photographs, videos, and paintings and sculptures, both as literal props and as metaphors. For Waring, the mask is a way of talking about the little performances that each of us put on every day in our roles in society, in families, in all interpersonal relationships. Waring likes to say that we all wear masks and that we're all performing at any given moment. My name is Nat Trotman. I am curator of performance and media at the Guggenheim Museum. And together with Jennifer Blessing, I am co-curator of Gillian Waring Wearing Masks. Waring emerged in the early 90s in London and was part of a generation of artists who were adopting strategies from mass media to look at the complexities of interpersonal relationships. Her first major body of work was called Signs That Say What You Want Them to Say, and not signs that say what someone else wants you to say. Her work is deeply human, very slow, very empathetic, providing a completely judgment-free space in which people can share their personal experiences and stories, and highlighting how, no matter who we are, we have a deeply human quality that bonds us together across boundaries and divides. Shortly thereafter, she also appeared before the camera herself in public in a work called Dancing in Peckham. And those two pieces become the cornerstones of her work early on. In the 2000s, she began appearing in the works herself more regularly. She takes pictures of herself wearing masks, first as herself, then as her family members, and then as members of her spiritual family. No matter who she's playing in a particular photograph, it is her eyes that peer through the mask. She is challenging her own power in the production of her works. She's always putting herself before the camera and showing that she is also implicated in the systems of performance that she's looking at and not hiding behind the camera. And that leads to a deeply uncanny experience for the viewer, because the masks look very lifelike, but not quite real. They look like a wax figure. And when you see her eyes peering through, it just goes straight into your psychology and really brings home the fact that each of these photographs is a masquerade. Sometimes the difference is who she chooses to masquerade as. Sometimes it's her at different ages, and sometimes it's her filtered through various digital interfaces.
As I speak. One of my hopes is that the performers will be able to be a more convincing me than me.
In 2015, Waring made Rock and Roll 70, which is a wallpaper artwork in which she worked with forensic specialists to imagine various versions of herself at age 70, which at the time was 20 years in the future. Waring works so much with self-portraiture that, in a way, her works are always about herself, yet in almost every work she's wearing a mask, and she's either being someone else or she's being herself. One of the reasons she does that is because it's not really about her. It's about her standing in for the way that any of us can imagine ourselves being someone else, or that we imagine ourselves being ourselves at another age, and about processes of memory and aspiration and identification. It opens up a lot of the more superficial aspects of how we relate to each other through media today. We're always performing some version of ourselves for the world around us. But underneath that, each of us has an inner self that remains private. And it's so important that we respect the fact that everybody has that, and that we can never truly know the inner depths of anyone, much less ourselves. And it's so important to preserve that and respect people's space